Happy Friday, everybody. Kelly McCarthy and I are here for another edition of CAA Hoops Weekly Season Preview, powered by Under Armour. Today, Kelly, we get to talk about JMU, and beginning on the women's side, as Kenny Brooks' team had a year for the ages in 2013 and 14, and were completely dominant through most of league play.
That's right. The Dukes didn't just dominate conference opponents, they dominated everyone they faced. They outscored opponents by 19 points per game, and it had huge wins over Virginia, UCLA, and St. John's during the regular season, and they only fell to UNC by 3 points when they were nationally ranked. JMU went 15-1 in CAA play. The only blip was a loss to the College of Charleston towards the end of the regular season. It was hardly a setback, though, as JMU rolled through the CAA tournament and were crowned champions. They carried that momentum into the NCAA tournament, where the Dukes knocked off Gonzaga in the first round before getting clipped by Texas A&M. Two big reasons for JMU's success were CAA Defensive Player of the Year Nikki Newman and 2014 CAA Player of the Year Kirby Burkholder. Both have graduated, and Burkholder's 18 points per game and Newman's 42 blocks will be missed. But Coach Kenny Brooks' team is still stacked.
Indeed they are, Kelly. The defending champs are picked to win it again in 2015, as the Dukes will have a lot of talent returning, in particular the preseason Player of the Year, Precious Hall.
Expectations are high for Precious Hall after an outstanding sophomore campaign. The guard averaged more than 13 points a game and scored at least 20 points 6 times. She's tough to contain and will be the Dukes' go-to scorer this season. Hall is just one of the great players on this team. Preseason All-CAA selection Toya Jiggets is poised to have an excellent senior campaign. She averaged more than 13 points per game last year and enters 2014-15 with a 26-game double-digit scoring streak intact. The forward is also tenacious on the glass, pulling down more than 200 rebounds last year. Jiggets does it all for the Dukes. Defense wins championships, and redshirt junior Jasmine Guathme was one of the reasons this rings true. Guathme possesses a lot of length at 6'2", and she denied opponents who ventured into the paint all season long, blocking 56 shots. The preseason All-CAA pick fits the role of a 3-guard well and will definitely have a nose for the basket, averaging 10 points last season. The Dukes will count on her for defense. Don't be surprised if she takes over offensively from time to time. And with her jumping ability, they say she can dunk. That's the type of excitement we can expect from Coach Brooks and the Dukes this year.
That should be really exciting to see. We caught up with head coach Kenny Brooks at Media Day, and he talked about the CAA preseason Player of the Year, Precious Hall.
She's explosive. I think what other coaches will say is she's explosive. She's very dangerous. She can shoot the long ball. She can take the ball to the hole. You foul her, she's going to shoot 85% from the free throw line. She's a competitor. What I'm going to say all those things, but I'm also going to say that the kid she loves basketball, eats, sleeps it, drinks it, wants to get better, major competitor. She's one of the strongest kids I've ever had. If anyone gets around her, she's going to get the ball. And I think that's where she's going to make a monumental step, because last year she wasn't known as a defender. Last year she was able to get away with not defending as much because Nikki would clean it up, because Jasmine Guathme would clean it up, because Toya Jiggets would step in and take a charge. This year we're going to depend on her to be a leader on the defensive end, and I think she's capable of doing that. And I think that's what's really going to separate her and make her an all-around player, which can be a Player of the Year caliber type player.
Now, as we take a look at the JMU men's team, we welcome back Rob Washburn. Happy Friday to you, Rob.
To you as well, Bobby. Looking forward to a nice weekend.
Absolutely. Can't wait. The Dukes captured the CAA title 2 years ago, but they had to replace a bunch of seniors from that team and won just 11 games last season. One good thing was that it helped pave the way for a lot of the Dukes' younger players to get valuable experience.
Yeah, last year was definitely a rebuilding year for JMU on the heels of its CAA championship in 2013. This year's team will be young as well, with no seniors on the roster, but the experience level is higher due to all the playing time that the freshmen and sophomores received last season. The Dukes are fortunate to have two of the best backcourt players in the conference in juniors Ron Curry and Andre Nation. But the key to the Dukes' success is going to be the development of 5 sophomores in the front court who will all be battling for playing time. Now, Coach Matt Brady and his staff have challenged them to step up and play like upperclassmen, and it'll be interesting to see which players out of that group are able to answer that challenge and make an impact.
As you mentioned, Rob, 2 players who have been big contributors in their first 2 years at JMU are Andre Nation and Ron Curry. Rob, they're even looking for more from the impressive juniors this season.
Yeah, Ron Curry developed into one of the top point guards in the CAA last season. He averaged 12 points per game, dished out a team-high 101 assists, and ranked 4th in the conference in steals. He was the leader of that team and became the guy who wanted the ball in his hands at crunch time. Now, Andre Nation is one of the most talented players in the conference, but has been sidelined due to a variety of issues throughout his career and will miss the first 5 games this season. He played in only 14 games last year, but was still selected to the All-CAA third team after averaging 15 points and 5 rebounds per game and leading the league in steals during conference play. Also back are sophomores Jackson Kent, Tom Vodanovich, Johanny Dallenberg, and Paulie Asakis, who are all for battling for starting spots. And newcomers Winston Grays and Joey McLean should see immediate playing time.
Coach Matt Brady at Media Day spoke about his junior guard, Ron Curry.
Well, I'm hoping progression. I'm hoping that he continues to evolve as maybe the best point guard in the league. That's a great position in this league, and he's going to have a great year to have that kind of success. But most notably about Ron, this has been his finest offseason since he's been here. I think he's paid particular attention to offseason skill development, which I'm not sure he did as a freshman. Started 13 games, and as young players who play a prominent role in a successful team, because that was an NCAA tournament team, he didn't pay as much attention to the details of getting better skill-wise. And then as a sophomore, I think he had a good season, but he also recognized that his percentages weren't great. His three-point percentage and his two-point percentage can both be better. So he spent a lot of time shooting the ball and improving his shot, his technique, and I would expect him to be closer to 40% this year. And if he can improve his three-point percentage and continue his evolution as a defensive-minded point guard, then he's got a chance to be one of the better point guards in our league.
Coach Brady's team opens up the 2014-15 season with a big-time matchup at home versus Virginia at 7, while the women will play earlier in the day as they host Pac-12 opponent UCLA at 1.
Fans, we also caught up with Coach Brady and Coach Brooks at Media Day as part of our Coaches One-on-One features. You can watch them now on both the CAA women's basketball and men's basketball blogs, Hoop Scoop and Baseline Buzz.
Rob, Kelly, and I will be taking the weekend off, but don't worry, we'll be back Monday as we continue our CAA Hoops Weekly Season Preview presented by Under Armour with the UNCW Seahawks. Have a great weekend, everyone.